Hello everyone, today in this video we'll fight against the advanced character of our world around us, and today we will just go through some parts of the European history, and we can say that until very recently, I mean until end of 1960s, European nations and civilizations in Europe, because there is nothing like Western and nothing like European civilization. There are a few civilizations in Europe. I encourage you to read classifications by Felix Konechny. But okay, let's go back to the topic. European civilizations, since recently, until recently, I would say, were really fighting against invaders, even if they didn't defeat the invaders, like Hungarians, who occupied and Magyarized, so Hungarized, conquered Slavic tribes, later joined Catholic Church, Christianity, and one of the European civilizations, in this sense Latin civilization in this case. Some of the Turkic invaders like Bulgars, Proto-Bulgars in 680 AD, they conquered Slavic tribes in formerly Roman province Mesia, but they got assimilated and Bulgarians now are a Slavic nation. Avars, they didn't assimilate. They were trying to preserve their identity, but their power was broken by Charlemagne in the beginning of the 9th century, and later their empire got crushed also by Han Krum, Khan of Bulgars, still pagans those days, but not for long. In 1864, Kagan, later known as Michael, was baptized in Byzantine Rite, Orthodox Christianity, but Avars were defeated and decimated, and actually not so many of them or even none survived. So we see that these examples, also Huns, nothing survived after them, after the defeat of Catalonian fields and death of Attila. First thing happened in 451 AD, second in 453 AD, death of Attila, and the Hunnic hordes were divided and they were fighting with each other for power, and the rest of Huns were decimated. And we see that even before the Germanic invasions from Scandinavia, Cimbri and Teutoni defeated in the for instance, Battle of Versailles by the one of the greatest Roman commanders, uncle of Julius Caesar, Gaius Marius, one of the reformer, at least partial reformer of Roman army. About this reform, there is a lot to talk. Maybe in the future we'll talk about it. So we see that until very recently, recent decades, European civilizations were defending themselves against the invaders, and even if invaders stayed in Europe, like Hungarians, they got assimilated and accepted within European civilization families. But now, this what neo-Marxists are doing, this all multiculturalism and this all pseudo-ideology, diluting civilization and replacing actually populations, and dealing with the things like as it shouldn't be, erasing the borders and favoring the newcomers on the cost of the native inhabitants of the countries. It's something incredible. That is why this is one of the reasons why European civilizations are now collapsing, and we should as soon as possible invert the trend and go back to the behavior of our ancestors. So defending our continent, defending our values, repelling the invaders who do not want to accept our values and share our values, and being proud of our heritage and our achievements, because we have a lot to be proud of, and we shouldn't be ashamed of anything, and we should show to the other civilizations that we can defend ourselves we can even attack, and we can also project the force. Then we will regain the respect again. There is no other way. All the best. Have a nice day. Bye.